Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to the Technology Innovation Hub. It's going to be the last session, most of the cases on a cloud industry analysis. We have been doing 6 sessions, so let's try to finish it off with this session, with the 7th session. All right, so let's start. Let me share this screen. Okay, right. So we have been discussing the most demanding skills 2021 and beyond. So beyond, okay. So then the next thing we have to start with top cloud certifications, right? Now you can see I have red tagged vendor specific. So vendor specific. So why say vendor specific? You can see all the 3 giants are selected here. Because when it comes to certifications, you have vendor specific and vendor neutral. There are 2 things, right? So this being the vendor specific, next we will discuss the vendor neutral one, right? But before coming to that, let's have a discussion here. So actually what vendor specific means, it comes to say you are going to do AWS certification. So it's based on their platform, right? Their own terminology. So again, if somebody want to master GCP, you have to do it separate certification. And I mean, their own specific terminology will be there because we know there are slight differences. That's why you may remember under service offering also we categorize. We had tables when AWS says EC2 instance, Google says App Engine. So likewise, there are differences. In everywhere there are differences. So that's why when you do this vendor specific certifications, you have been specific to a particular vendor, sticking to a vendor. So that's why vendor specific. So of course you can cover the delta. That's true because I mean even there are certain basics. I mean cloud service model delivery. I mean deployment model. Those things will be common anywhere. But when it comes to a handler solution, those are not the things mainly matters. It's about your implementation knowledge. If you do a vendor specific certification, what happens is the solution deriving implementation knowledge, you have been specific to the vendor because that is where you have certified. Now, for example, if you want to build a containerization solution with Kubernetes, now you may, if you are certified on AWS, you are going to do with something called EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Cluster. So, and if you go with GCP, you are going to have, Google Kubernetes Cluster. GKS. So with Azure AKS. So likewise, there are different flavors. Even though this underlying concept is same, if you have in general, if you have learned the Kubernetes architecture, fine. So that is not being specific, no. If you learn the Kubernetes architecture general and do the certification outside to a cloud vendor, that means you are vendor neutral knowledge you already have. Then it's easy to adapt to the vendor specific either EKS or GKE or AKS. But if somebody right away start with, let's say in AWS, Elastic Kubernetes cluster, you have been so specific to that cluster, whereas it's not depicts the real picture of a Kubernetes cluster. So that's the problem, right? Okay, anyway, having a certification is a plus. Having a credential, right, is boost up your career. Definitely, you have to do a certification, and not only one. I mean, of course, you have to do now because since it is multi-cloud, it's going to be multi-cloud. You have to have more than one certifications across different vendors. If you have already certified on AWS, be certified on Google as well in vendor specific terms, right? But on the other hand, the vendor neutral. So if you are a total beginner, you have this path. Let's say you are not in the industry yet. Industry means you don't have more than 5 years experience. You are within below 5 years, 3 to 4 experience. So you are just a beginner, just an entrant as an intern to the industry, right? So you want to master cloud. So rather than just going after this vendor specific, you can try out a vendor neutral certification. I'll come to that one more detail later because in vendor neutral, okay, for example, now it says let me just show you. Now in vendor neutral, this is what. Now these are the institutes which use vendor neutral. Now these people, they are covering a general concept, not being specific to a vendor. if they want to learn, if you want to learn Kubernetes, so they will talk about the real Kubernetes cluster and the general concepts, because there are things now policy defining, they are general, right? They are general concepts which common to any cloud vendor. So those foundations, those architectural foundation, the base will be established via this vendor neutral certification. They offer certification. Let's talk about that one later when it comes to here. They give certification. So as a beginner, what you can do a vendor neutral certification first and put your foundation, well structured foundation. Then on top of that, build your vendor specific certification. That is how you should be. So that will give a firm structure for your cloud career. So that is in general overview on certification, right? So let's get back to our vendor specific one. Now, for example, I have given here AWS certified cloud practitioner, AWS certified solution architect. So these are all from AWS, right? And we have from GCP, associate cloud engineer, professional cloud engineer, right? And we have from Azure, Microsoft Azure fundamentals, associates like so these are just only demand demands. I have not given everything here. If I go to one of these, let's say if you go to Azure fundamentals, right? So this will cover their basics, but again vendor specific, they are basics, right? Nothing generic. Azure certified fundamentals. So actually this certification they offer freely those days. I mean 6 months back, right? So part one, describe core Azure concept, right? So fundamentals too, likewise. So if you go inside, you can see what it's going to cover. Fundamental describe core Azure concept. So likewise, you can see their basic concepts they'll be covering, right? Describe Azure concept, describe core Azure services, and likewise, okay, so you can see you can go to that. No need to for me to go to one by one. Describe general security network, describe identity. So let's say if you want to click one of these things, right? We can see there are core services. Understand the best availability, compute, network, storage. Right? These are common things, right? And Cosmos DB and basics. Right? Okay, so that is in with terms of Azure. Right? And even these things you have. Now let's talk about advanced certification. Okay, now let's say AWS certified DevOps engineer, that AWS certified developer, AWS certified solution architect. Let's say this is quite of a another demanding thing. No, AWS certified solutions architect professional. This is another advanced thing. Okay, let's go here first. Right? Now, if you go inside that one, let's see what is going to cover being covered there. AWS certified solutions architect. This is associate. It's okay, right? Associate. The link. Yeah. It's going to the common one. So first associate, then professional. That's why link is going there. That's okay, right? So associate will cover recommended knowledge on expertise, hands-on expertise, prepare for exam. Yeah, I mean the contents basically these things: experience on deployment, managing services, ability to which AWS services given like so. This is again not a deep exam, associate one, right? But get trained, get certified, you can see the contents as well, right? Certification overview and likewise getting started. So certification prepare, resources, benefits. So all the things are here. And if you let's say see the course content of advanced one, right away go there. Now, if you take AWS certified solutions architect professional. Less exam details, format, time, delivery, cost. These are the content. 2 or more years hands-on experience. This is not detailed content, right? This is just a breakdown. They have a detailed syllabus. And they say hands-on experience designing, deploying architecture on a cloud architecture in AWS. Ability to evaluate application requirements, make architectural recommendations for implementation, deployment, like, and familiar with CLI, AWS CLI, APIs, AWS Cloud Foundation templates, okay, billing and costing, and likewise, so console, AWS console, so design hybrid architecture, key VPN, fine, familiarity of scripting language, okay, yeah, so to build the stacks, right, solution is step, prepare for exam, prepare for an exam. So if I click here, prepare AWS certificate for AWS certification exam. Foundation, so this is the guiding to the track associate professional certification. Okay, so this is what download the exam sample question. There are sample explore AWS training. Download, you have the professional syllabus, take exam readiness training. Yeah, that's true. The white papers, take a practice exam. All right, so download, okay, if I can download the exam guide. So here we have download exam guide, download sample questions. If I click here, it will give you the more details, right? Yeah. So exam content. So this will give you the content of the exam. So this is what domain one. These things are going to be mainly tested there. Determine cross-account authentication likewise. Determine how to design network, organize, determine likewise. So security requirements and select existing workload process and new cloud architecture, existing solutions. So likewise, that is the solution architect professional. So you can go through more detail. But why I show you those things, I need to say a common thing like this. Now, let's say you are certified. This is what I have seen in the industry. So even if you are certified, let's say, okay, now let's say you are AWS architect professional, right? You are a professional, right? So that means you have certain standard, not associate, you are a professional. Now, let's say you are going to get a project in a client project. You are going to face an interview from the client. What we have seen, what I have seen, when at the interview, still we see a little bit of incompetence from even from a professional, certified professional, on deriving solutions as per the client requirement. That we have seen in the industry actually. Even a professional, you are certified, but yet you are just having the incompetence. Your competence is not so good in deriving a solution as per the client requirement. The reason is this. Now, most of these exams are actually based on POCs. POCs means a theory is given and we are trying to prove that theory and implement it. But in the industry, the difference is it's not about all about POC. I mean, just doing a POC for a client, you won't be able to derive the solution that they expect 100%. It might be a 50% requirement. POC might be a 50% of what actually client looking at. But if these certifications can be focused on things like, let's say, a scenario-based training rather than a POC, a pilot project. Pilot project means you get the exact requirement from a client, and in the certification itself, the candidate is being trained to implement that project. Likewise, actually, in our this technology innovation hub, we are focusing on that, right? Okay, it's good to be certified, but to cover that gap, now let's say you are certified, but there's a gap to be covered. Now, under technology innovation hub, the practicals we are presenting in that way. We are taking scenarios, and not the second part of the scenario is pilot projects. If you are a more experienced person, let's say if you have 7 years, 8 years experience in industry, and you are now certified, but yet you are lacking competence, right? So what we have to do, we have to get some pilot projects for you, pilot projects, and implement that one, get the hands-on, then try to derive the client solution. It will be much more competence than the previous, right? But if you are just having, let's say, less than 5 years, 4 to 5 years experience, even less than 8 years experience, then scenario based will be much better. POCs will be better for beginners, right? At beginners level, let's say you are just entering into AWS, not only AWS, you are just entering into cloud environment. You want to learn a proof of theory, right? Proof of concept, not POC means you want to learn how the theory works. Okay, fine, do a POC and do it. That's good. So that is there, right? Just keep those things in mind when you're doing the certification, and don't go to these dumps and do it. There's no point at all. You have to be a smart person, because you have to stand for your certification, at least at that level, right? That level of competence, even though you are just lacking competence to build a client solution, but yet you have a certification. So stand for it, be a smart, don't go after dumps, just do the hands-on, really face the questions and really be certified. Okay, so that is right. So just go to these links. You can have the certification. So these are the most demanding, right? The other one, so we have more, right? Other than these things, why not? This is only three giants, no, but rest of the people also offering, right? We have more cloud certifications in the industry. IBM, they offer, Oracle, they offer, Cisco, they offer, and Cisco Certified Network Professional Cloud and System Administration, Red Hat, OpenStack, they offer, right? So even if you go to Oracle Cloud, they have a lot of free learnings, right? Oracle is one of the best documentation providers for learning, and they give a lot of free stuff for learning. Oracle by example series, hands-on, iLearning, lot of free things are there. Rather than the paid one, a lot of free things are there, right? All right, right. Okay, let's go to these things little by little later. So, okay, let me proceed further in the presentation, right? Okay, then comes this. As I said earlier, vendor neutral, right? Now, vendor neutral, for example, okay, now let's go to one of these places. So let's go to this one, Cloud Credentials, CCP. Now, Cloud Credentials, if I click here, Cloud Credentials Council is one of the bodies which provide these vendor neutral certifications. And they have a certification path as well, right? So if you go down, this is what they are telling, big data, that is big data, Internet of Things, they have different certifications. Vendor neutral, they are not being specific to any vendor, right? So if you click, let's say certification, now you have, okay, let's say cloud certification, that is we are on cloud certifications. So if I click cloud certifications, so they have this path, foundation. First thing is associate. Then they have professional. So after that, I think I saw somewhere here, they are diverting you to a vendor specific one. Once you certified in this day, I mean the initial foundation is been put as vendor neutral, then you can think about the vendor specific one. And the nice thing is they have sample questions. Let me, not only these people, others also have. Let me show one of others also. And now for cloud associate, okay, get certified resources, no? Yeah, cloud adaptation readiness assessment. Now, if I go here, this assessment, yes, cloud adaptation readiness assessment, yes. You can download it. So you can just give you information, download it. And here you have, let me show you a sample. I think I had the one which is downloaded. Yeah. So this is a mock exam from CCC, Cloud Credential Council mock exam, right? So this exam is, they are giving freely. You can just download this one and you can test your knowledge as of now, where you are in terms of your cloud knowledge. So you can see popular social media, likewise. So they are giving a lot of questions, not only one or two. See, if you go down, you have more questions for to learn. So this is free, all free, right? So just try to get an evaluation by yourself. Even if you are not capable, if you go through these things, you can Google and you can learn. Of course, Technology Innovation Hub will guarantee you we are giving this knowledge. Right? So, I mean, now, for example, which consumer study require most comprehensive technical skills? Likewise, if you don't know the answer for these things, if you follow the lessons that you are doing on technology innovation now, no sooner you will be a master on these things as a beginner, right? And I mentioned earlier for middle tier and the senior tier, what we are trying to do. So because scenario-based, pirate-based project, those are for seniors. So that is one of it. And let me just see another one. So, okay, let's go to Cloud Initiative. Right? I think I have more. Yeah, I have Cloud Genius, Cloud Essentials, CompTIA is one of the popular ones, Cloud Master, all are vendor neutral. Right? And if you go to Cloud Institute, let's go there. You can see under Cloud Institute, right? So again, you have free exams for you, right? For example, you can see Cloud Open Exam, free. Now this is you have to pay, right? Cloud Architect, they're telling it's cost 75%, 95 US dollars you have to pay. That is that. But there is a free exam, Cloud Open Exam. This is free. Now this one you can just start the exam, right? So they will nicely give you your name and all. They will, I mean, you can start the exam. Let me show you. I just did the one to show you. Just I did a quickly an exam for you to get an idea. Just I can show you. No, this is yeah. This is I did one. I did I think just 2 hours back. I did this one and just put the name and all. They give 30 questions. So they give 30 questions. You need to score above 75. So I just randomly did it quickly for you to show, and it's fine. I got 81.5%, and you also can try it. So I did it today. And the thing is, congratulations, you have, but they don't give a certificate, because if you want to get a certificate, you have to do a paid one, right? So that's okay. But it's evaluation for you, right? And they give you what you miss, the questions that you miss, right? All right. So that is all about this, what you get, vendor neutral certifications. So that's about certification. So get started with these things. Be in touch with Technology Innovation now. We'll be covering the knowledge for you, and we'll be touching upon these things also, linking with these, bodies who offer this certification. Our channel will get linked with those, right? Okay. All right. So that is about certification, right? So now then comes to, again, to get the latest knowledge. Annually there are events, conferences, right? Conferences and events. So you have to online, you can participate. Now this is, one of them. I have selected few. So you can, even if you Google, these are, I think, most popular ones. So you can see Cloud Expo Europe 2021, right, on July 7. I think it's very recently. You can register freely. And another one, IEEE, one of the popular ones, September. And we have more. Infrastructure is everywhere accelerated. This is Gartner on December. And we have Cybersecurity Congress 2021, right, September, right? You can register for those events. And we have Microsoft Ignite Cloud Fest 2021, right? And this is gone already. They have said, but you can on-demand videos are available, right? This has already taken place. But I think upcoming events are, because they go for region-wise, no, right? Asia Pacific, Europe. You may, if you go in the link, I don't need to go there now. You can. If I click here, it will go. But I've shared it, the PPT for you. You can go to that. And further, we have more, right? Cloud Transformation Champions Online. That's also something held in March. And not only that, we have Oracle Open World Las Vegas 2021. And is also annual conference. AWS Summit, they have annually. And Google I/O annual conference. And again, Alibaba Summit Live. So they also have this, right? Okay, so that is for you to further grab knowledge. Right? So, and even the things that you grab from the these conferences, you can put it on the channel. You can open up discussions in the channel. So no issues. So we can discuss. Okay, so that is that, right? So that comes to the almost the end of this cloud industry analysis, right, done by Technology Innovation Hub. So up next, what we are going to do next, right? Now the industry analysis is done. Hope you grabbed a lot of knowledge, the latest on the industry, what's happening in terms of cloud computing, right? So up next, as I have categorized the audience, the way that we are going to plan the knowledge, competency building to the Technology Innovation Hub. So we have beginners, we have middle level, we have seniors, right? So the beginners, including the just university entrance and just interns on the industry, so they can get started now. For them, we are going to start with the next one. In fact, totally we are going to do hands-on now or not. So getting started with different cloud vendors, because everybody is wondering at that stage how to create an account, because whenever you want to do your practicals with one of these vendors, you have to create an account for them to log in. So then we have free tier. So how to utilize the free tier? Because if you don't know how to utilize the free tier, and if you get code to the paid ones, unnecessary bills are coming for you. So how to set the billing alerts, how to configure those metrics. So we'll be teaching upon those things for the beginners. So for the beginner session, so I'll be touching on each, not only one vendor, right? Don't worry. So we'll have practical sessions on AWS, how to create an account and how to get started with AWS free tier. Similarly, Azure, Google, Oracle, Alibaba. So one of these 4 or 5 major giants in the industry. So there will be separate lessons for each and every, so that whatever you are prepared way, you can get started, because all will provide you a long-term career partner. Even in AWS, even in Azure, even in Oracle, yes, they are giants. Even in Google, so they are total solution providers in industry almost, right? So you can start your cloud career with them, no problem, right? Then for the middle tier, so you'll be starting something like this, building cloud solutions based on scenarios. I mentioned this one. I mentioned for them, it's no need to go for the starter now because they have already accounts right in the cloud. So it doesn't matter if you're still willing to follow those things from the beginning, you can, it's okay. But we'll be touching upon scenarios. Scenarios means now, for example, how to, let's say, deploy a microservices application or with DevOps pipeline with Google Kubernetes cluster on Google platform. How do you do that, right? How to deploy that using a YAML file and do a deployment, and how to access it from outside from a browser. So likewise, a scenario. We are building a scenario, right? And the other one is the most senior, the enterprise level. They are looking for enterprise solutions. No, the most senior means, let's say, anyone who is above 8 years, 10 plus years, they want enterprise level solutions. So, I mean, just based on a scenario, deriving a solution by integrating few components won't work for them. 10 years plus means definitely enterprise solutions. So for them, what we are trying to do, we are trying to get some pilot projects as per client need. And we are going to implement it and show it how it's going to work with the guidelines, and you can try that out. Pilot project. It may be on with there was something. It may be on microservices, so it may be with some cloud component itself, right? So it may be something with data pipeline to get real-time analysis. Maybe with TensorFlow, Kubeflow. There are n number of things, right? With AI and MS, so we'll be getting a pilot project, right? And we will be implementing that. Right, so that is going to be the next event, next session on this cloud portal from Technology Innovation Hub. And I didn't put any summary for here because we went into breakdown into 7 sessions. I think that's okay, right? Takeaways, because if you go through it. And before watching the videos, if you go to the definitions, every video, there comes an explanation. So if you watch that, you will see what's happening in that video, right? All right, so what I'm telling is this. Now, if I go to, let me just show you. If I go to again, let's go to YouTube, right? If I go to YouTube and if I go to the channel, right? Now, let's say on the playlist, right? On the playlist, if you go to, at the moment we have 5 videos uploaded. What I'm telling is, you can see, this is the portal, the portal introduction, but each and every video, there's a explanation on what's happening in that video. You can see that, right? Welcome to the post session, and what the content cover in this video is given. So if you don't want to watch the entire series, you can first read this part, what's the content of the video, and then you can select accordingly. Now, for example, if somebody is looking for certifications, which is just covered in that video, the 7th video, there will be explanation like this. So watch that and select the relevant and watch. But even if you want to watch the whole series, that's much better. That's the best way actually, right? You can get the whole knowledge. And here I'll be uploading the deck now. So I'll be within another hour's time, it will be available for you. So you can, at the moment only this NIST is there, but it will be available within another hour's time. So you can access it, right? Okay, the deck will be available because it contains a lot of click references. So no, you don't need to waste time again. Just utilize this deck and click there, go there and get the knowledge, right? Okay, all right. I think with that, we are done with that industry overview, right? Okay, sorry. All right, so this is the up next we discussed. So that's the last one. Thank you. So anything you can email me this one, TNH Luxury and Technology Innovation Hub. This is our vision. So yes, thank you. And I'll be meeting very soon again in the cloud portal and with other portals as well with the relevant up next events. All right. All right. Have a nice day. If you like the video, you can put a subscribe. Have a great time. Bye bye.